Off top, the world's first amusement park is believed to be in Kampenborg, Denmark. It's called Bakken. It was opened in 1583. Apparently, it's still open now. Play the music.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.
What up, Charlie? Hopefully, we can amuse the people today. I looked up amusement parks facts because I'm going to Six Flags after we leave here with the kids today.
This is my favorite image to think of you just being very cranky on roller coasters for the next 6 hours.
Man, I can act like I'm happy. I know how to act like I'm happy for the kids' sake. They can't see through it just yet. And I mean, them being happy is fun. So that's what happens. We have memories, and we had a water balloon fight yesterday.
Oh, water balloon fights are incredible.
I didn't want to participate in it, so I was like, you guys go have a water balloon fight. But then I got jealous. So I started lighting them up.
It's also, that's like, I mean, I guess I'm not a father. I don't know. But as a former camp counselor, it's a zero stakes thing to just let the cannon loose, let the howitzer go.
I was gunning them across the backyard, deep bombs, lighting up a 7-year-old. It was fun. Anyway, I was on target yesterday with my water balloon fights. Hopefully the NBA draft is going to be it's a terrible transition. I'm actually excited about this NBA draft because the draft normally in the NBA, I think the players are like, you go long stretches without knowing who's going to be in the draft or like knowing a specific player that is going to be impactful. I think this draft is going to be interesting because there's two things that I think are going to make it interesting. One, there are multiple players that we think can be impactful. Like I would say Scoot, Brandon Miller. I guess the Amon twins, the Thompson twins are kind of hit or miss. And then there's obviously Victor.
Yeah, I think there are more too. Like you could get Cam Whitmore in there. You can get guys at the end of the draft who could go to really good teams because there are a bunch of like big wing role player guys who are interesting.
But I guess what I'm saying is slightly different.
Yeah.
I need to know your name before.
That's fair.
Like it's like there are players that I'm excited about. There are players that could be impactful, like Christian Brown is a player who's impactful in important games. I didn't know who he was a couple years ago. I didn't know who he was last year.
You know he was the white guy in Kansas next to Ochai Agbaje?
Yeah. And I mean, you watch a little bit more college basketball, probably a lot more college basketball than me. But I think that makes it interesting. And also, there's the potential for a ton of trades with big name players that could like shift the dynamics of the league. So there's a couple different things that I'm excited about. Which one do you want to start on? The big potential trades or Scoot or Brandon Miller? Because I know we disagree on Scoot versus Brandon Miller for the second pick.
I want to start with Charlotte. Let's start with Charlotte in the second pick.
So Charlotte has the second pick. They have LaMelo Ball, who is their franchise player at this point, which he's very talented. He's a great passer, can play off the ball. They're trying to build something there. Jordan is going to sell the team, I think, right? That's the plan.
Most likely.
Yeah. So they're building something there for the post-Jordan future. And the question is, do you go with Scoot Henderson, who's a super athlete at point guard, 6'2", is not a great shooter, is going to be hunted on defense, even though he's small. Like that tends to be the case.
He's so strong.
He's very strong.
He's so strong and he's so young and he's so athletic. It's like to me, it's very unclear if he's going to be hunted on defense as of yet because he's long. And I mean, we saw a 6'2.5" Dwayne Wade be like a borderline dominant weak side shot blocker in the NBA. So the defense with guys that young, it's impossible to say. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a weak side shot blocker is not the same.
He was still an incredible perimeter defender as well.
Okay, so I guess we aren't sure that he's going to be a great defender.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about players in the NBA. The reason why I lean closer to Brandon Miller is the small guard thing scares me, and also the shooting thing scares me. Brandon Miller is one of the few players, and a lot of guys have. That's normally the criticism for perimeter players that are coming to the draft. Like they're gonna have to work on his shot. Like it's a broken record. Everyone has to work on their shot. Brandon Miller does not. That makes me happy. He's a big perimeter player. You know me and wings. I get excited about wings. He's a big wing player who's already projects, I think, to not be a liability on defense. Can handle the ball, can pass the ball, and can shoot. I don't understand the reason why you can look at both of those players and come out of it thinking Like, clearly that Scoot is the way to go.
So they are, to me, Scoot Henderson and Brandon Miller are in an interesting situation. I don't think either one of those guys are being drafted to be the best guy on a title team, which I think changes the expectations significantly, because you're not looking for the A1. You're not looking for the Steph Curry, Jokic, Embiid with these guys. Can they be a number 2 or number 3 on a title team? And the odds are both of them could be in that number 3 role. This is why the degradation of college basketball is so frustrating to me. Yeah. The Brandon Miller thing, because Brandon Miller, I think I can say this in a really kind, nice way, was dog in the NCAA tournament.
That was kind and nice.
It was, I mean, that was a really nice way to say someone who was historically terrible, who can never really be contested in college basketball because he's a 6'9" jump shooter. Basically no-showed the entire tournament. He had like a small groin strain, and he might be a very nice player. What we know from Scoot Henderson was every time there was a competitive game with Wembanyama, he went crazy. His first year playing in the G League, he was awesome when he was younger in actual pros at a much higher level than college basketball. And this past year, the jump shooting, he shot 27% overall and 32% in the G League regular season. It remains to be seen. And I say that because someone like Ja Morant might be an outlier. But if you had said to either one of us with Ja Morant leaving Murray State, oh, this athletic guy is going to become a competent enough outside shooter to make him completely unstoppable going to the basket, we would have both been surprised.
Right.
So to me, it's not clear he's going to be Russell Westbrook. And the other thing is, I think Charlotte just needs to be in asset acquisition mode. Are we sure LaMelo Ball is a franchise player? He's completely out of control.
Franchise player. Yeah. He's not a number 1 player on the championship team. If that's what we're thinking of as a franchise player, like to say the way we talk about franchise quarterbacks in football, it's like, all right, can we win a Super Bowl with this guy? I don't think that you can win a championship with LaMelo as your number 1.
Beyond that, what if you just strip it down? Do you think it's smart to make your entire asset acquisition strategy fit around LaMelo Ball?
No.
So then you got to just take the best player.
Agreed. And I guess it's that. And maybe I'm being more risk averse than you, because I think I feel more comfortable and confident that Brandon Miller's skill set is something that will translate to being valuable in the NBA. I get what you're saying. And so to be completely transparent, this is not the NFL draft. I don't spend a ton of time watching film on these players. It's mostly reading what other people think. And most people, I think, believe Scoot Henderson is a better player. So it's
actually pretty split. I think this is sort of a litmus test of how you view what you can find out of these guys.
And I actually don't necessarily think that watching a ton of film has proven to make any of us better at knowing who's going to go where. And as a matter of
Thank you, Josh Allen.
Yeah, as a matter of practice, I think that it's more important to go with like what you believe as a philosophy than it is to go with specific players, unless there's the NBA draft, whereas every 5 to 10 years, there's somebody who rolls out. They're like, all right,
oh yeah,
who are we kidding? This is the guy. Let's get him. And that's Victor this year. So it's funny that we're talking about the NBA draft that has an all-time great player potential in it, and we're not going to talk about him at all because there ain't shit to talk about. He's going to go to the Spurs, and he's going to be impactful immediately and has the potential to be the best player in basketball at some point in his career.
Everything he does is so smart, too. Even him skipping Summer League, it's like you're playing this full French season. Now you're going to skip, like, you're so advanced, Victor.
Yeah, and he already has the professional experience because he's a pro, and he has the professional team around him, which makes me feel a little bit better about injury future and all that sort of stuff.
I am borderline. I mean, actually, this is going to make me sound like I have a foot fetish, but I like watching the videos of Victor Wembanyama doing his foot workouts so he never injures his feet.
That is the craziest thing I've heard anyone ever say.
No. They dub it with like little pianos, so he's like walking on his toes, and it's like ding, 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 ding,
I've
ding,
never
ding,
seen this.
And he's 7'5", and they're hilarious.
All right, you're gonna have to send this to me, or maybe not, because I don't know if I need that in my search history.
I'll send it to Pablo. Pablo would love it.
He will love it. I forgot that wasn't where I wanted to go initially, but I was saying about making decisions in the draft that. This is how I talked myself into Brandon Miller over Scoot Henderson is like, my general basketball philosophies is no small guards and you need wing players and shooting. These are things that I think, and the way that I think about this is there are some things that are hard to find and there are some things that are incredibly hard to find.
Yeah.
And so a 6'2" super athlete who's competitive, it's not easy to find, but it's easier to find than 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" perimeter defenders that are, I wouldn't say knockdown shooters, but are good shooters. And also, what are people normally looking for in basketball, and what translates to winning? And I guess your point about neither of these guys being the number one on a championship team, I think that matters some too, because I was going to make the point that we don't have much history, a point that I make all the time and lots of people make. We don't have much history in NBA of small guards being the leaders on championship teams. So I guess your argument against that is like, we don't expect Scoot to be that.
No, we don't. And I think we're having an extended history of explosive guards being like impactful right. Second and third options on teams. And it's like, body type wise, there's no reason he can't play like a Jamal Murray. I mean, Jamal Murray's handle and jump shot is so sick. So like right. that is the reason. But a Jamal Murray or be a defensive impact player like Drew Holiday on previous championship teams. Those are roles that are becoming increasingly important. Best way to keep people out of the lane, point of attack defenders.
Right. All right. I mean, I could get it. I'm certainly not arguing that Scoot Henderson is bad. He's not a player that I wouldn't want. But I think the point is neither of us believe that either of these guys is going to be the number one player. So I want to get something that I know will be valuable. I think it's a possibility, and I could be wrong. Your point about Brandon Miller stinking up in the tournament is a good one, and him not being fully challenged in college basketball is fair. But I feel confident that if you're 6'9" and you can shoot, you're going to be an asset, and you aren't a complete nothing on defense. Like, we watched Duncan Robinson be integral to what the Heat were doing in a long stretch of the playoffs. He just developed a little bit of penetration. They hide him on defense, but he can shoot and he's tall.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest example is Michael Porter Jr. I think that's actually a fair comp for someone like Brandon Miller, because we don't know how complete ever. I mean, people have compared him to Paul George. Paul George is a unique development case. It's like, I don't know, maybe he can be a Jaylen Brown, maybe he can be a Michael Porter Jr., someone in that vein where there are.
He can dribble though.
Yeah.
I'm just joking, just making fun of Jaylen, our favorite pastime on this podcast. It seems like.
But I would say I think there is a misconception sometimes of when people say that they can shoot and compare them to there are special movement shooters in the NBA, and I think it's really hard to tell sometimes in the way college offenses run so much more slowly if Brandon Miller can be someone who can fly off a screen like a Duncan Robinson and shoot 45%. This is gonna. You're forcing me to get on my soapbox and act like an old man. This is why it stinks that we don't have real college basketball anymore. Yeah. It stinks because we don't have. Okay, we got the Thompson twins. They're 20 years old. They're gigantic wing super athletes. They're playing against 15-year-olds in overtime elite who would ride the bench at Coastal Carolina. We have Scoot Henderson, who basically realized, I'm going to be a top 2 pick, and didn't have a serious G League season this year. And comparing that to Brandon Miller, who then stunk in the tournament, who, if this had been 5 years ago and you'd basically been like, this guy who's supposed to be a top 3 pick is going to shoot under 20% in multiple tournament games, we would have genuinely skewered the guy, and probably fairly, because he was playing against all of his peers. And now it's impossible to evaluate, because I'm not going to sit here and grind G League film. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm watching the OTE games.
I mean, I'm with you. The kind of deterioration of college basketball sucks, but college basketball also sucks.
I know.
It's a weird thing to be. It's like, man, I miss how great college basketball was when it really exploited the players. But I mean, I do miss how great college basketball was.
I don't miss the exploitation. I miss the TV product.
Oh yeah. Agreed. No one misses the exploitation, but
Coach K and Jay Wright, they all quit. They missed Roy Williams.
Jim Boeheim. Yeah. They all missed the exploitation. But yeah, I do remember that. And you knew the players better. You had a better feel for them. But we're not going to turn into an old man podcast just yet. I'm the only person that's 40, so we can stay a little
I got one more old man take on that.
Man take?
I think that was actually the better development path for players. People, even compared to
basketball?
Compared to some of these low-level professional leagues.
Yeah, I think it's more consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, these low-level professional leagues are bad, and one and done is probably bad. I mean, one and done, there is no development, you would think, in colleges.
And I just think that, like, I would love to see a larger case study on this. I don't know how you could do it, but someone like Scoot, I think, playing the last 2 years in like the ACC or playing for a really good coach. He could have played for a Jay Wright at Villanova. Yeah, it would have been a much more interesting way to see him grow as a basketball player than being. I know he was a professional. I know he was playing against grown men, but it's like any minor league sport. It's much more self-serving. You're basically trying to figure out a way to get to the next level rather than.
And it's not a true test.
Yeah.
In that if you're out there just playing for the next level, you aren't seeing the true competitiveness. You're not seeing inside a scheme. You're seeing a guy practice. Yeah. In live action, but
it's also like this is something that for the non-Scoot Hendersons, for the non-Thompson twins, like. I don't know how this is going to be sustainable. There are going to be guys who are never going to make it, who are going to this league because they think it's like the best way to get paid. And I genuinely don't think it's the best way to prepare for the NBA.
All right. So that aside, the other most exciting thing about this draft is we're going to have trades. And
so many trades.
It's not something, and trades with big names like Bradley Beal, Levine might be up. Damian Lillard is probably the crown jewel that is openly being traded. I think the Pelicans have already said that they changed their mind on that whole Zion thing, which would have made him the crown jewel available in this particular trade market.
If there is a way to pry Zion Williamson out of New Orleans, to me, this is like genuinely fascinating because we should talk about a bunch of these trades, but guys, I think you can make a case, and I would make the case that he's the third best offensive player in the NBA after Curry and Jokic, above Embiid, above Durant. He's just completely unstoppable when he plays. But there are not 22-year-olds who have that injury history, who don't play, who have max contracts, who become available or are that this big of a risk to trade for. Like
valuing him is hard.
Someone's getting ripped off.
Yeah, I mean it's inevitable because what he can be is what you're paying for, and it's possible that he never gets to that, and then you end up having given up everything to get someone who could potentially be an MVP in the league, and you end up with a zero. So it's a hard trade to make. It's not even like when we have players who force a trade.
Yeah,
those trades are hard to make sometimes, but it also you know what you're getting.
Yeah,
like he's a great player, and you know what the trade-off is. So I don't know what discount rates you use to factor in the idea that maybe he never becomes the player he's supposed to be. But I'm on record with this. I've said this on a number of different platforms that I've been on. You take the chance. If Zion, so we're talking about something that apparently is no longer an option.
Literally.
So we can move on from that conversation. But generally my feel is you take the chance because those players are the hardest thing to find. And if you can get one, you get one. So let's go to Damian Lillard.
Okay.
Where does he go that immediately becomes a title? I would say contender, but I feel like any team that becomes a title contender is already kind of on the verge of it. So he's not going to go anywhere that no one respects and then all of a sudden they're going to be great. So of the competitive teams this previous season, what's the team that you think Damian Lillard has the potential to go to and we might consider a favorite if he ends up there? I know he's made the point that Miami is one of the places that he's interested in. Yeah. Do you think Miami is
Miami's the answer. Yeah. It's the answer. I mean, like first of all, he instantly becomes best player on the team. He fixes so many of their they were a team built on lurching into other players, right. Benefiting, getting the benefit of the doubt from the refs, basically adding someone who is, I don't know, the second best shooter of all time after Steph Curry, who aligns his prime with Jimmy Butler, who spreads the floor so much. I mean, I think you raise the ceiling a lot for that team. A team that we don't really think of as like one of the best teams in the East next year. I think they instantly become the best team in the East.
Yeah, you do. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's hard to argue given what they accomplished this year. And as much as I kind of want to say it's a fluke because they're not that talented, it's impossible to say a team that's been as competitive as they have been for the last 3 years. And also the NBA playoffs, it's not the NFL playoffs where you kind of can get hot. And you could get a one-game sample and be a fluke. You got to win series, like multiple 7-game series. So this team is good, but he's not going to be free. And I know we agree that the value of these players with the new CBA, the value of these players on these supermax deals are coming down because you can do fewer manipulations with the cap to build around them. So it is a limiting factor. The salary is a limiting factor in a way that it hasn't been before. So Damian Lillard is likely going to be cheaper as far as trade compensation is concerned than he would have been a couple years ago. However, he's not going to be free. So I don't know what they're going to move on from, but I guess the Heat is the one team that you trust can manufacture role players out of nothing. So that is not something that they should be upset about.
Yeah, you keep Jimmy and you keep Bam. The fascinating thing
everything else can go.
Yeah, you can find a new Caleb Martin. Like Pat Riley can build a new one. Bigger, faster, stronger. The interesting thing about Damian Lillard is he's probably going to be the best player that's ever been traded that instantly becomes a bad contract for the team that trades him. I think in 26-27, he's making $63 million a year, and he's going to be like, I don't know, 100 years old.
Well, it's not instant. It's in 26-27.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, Charlie, I appreciate you, buddy. Now time for Roses and Thorns.
He's so good!
How has Domonique been lately?
Bad or good?
Let's find out. This is Roses and Thorns.
And now, time for my favorite part of the show with my favorite person, Roses and Thorns. My wife, Ashley, is here to tell me what I did great this week and what I need to work on.
So many things.
Hold on. So many things what? I need to work on?
Oh, that you did great.
Okay. Okay. Let's hear them.
Oh, okay. Oh, put me on the spot, why don't you?
We didn't put you on the spot. It was a surprise. It says it on the screen right there. Rose and Thorns. We've been doing it every week.
Normally they come to me later. And that's true. We do it every week. And actually, we're
doing it early. We did two this week. Or did we did on Friday last week?
No, we've been doing it. We're all off. Normally, we were doing them every Monday before they come out on Tuesday when we were doing them at home. But now that we're like coming in, like when we travel or when one of us is traveling, we can't do it on Monday anymore. Like before, we would do them from like a hotel in New York.
Yeah.
Like it was fine if we were away. But now that we've gotten all official, which I love, thank you, Pop Bill. We actually have to like be here to do them. And so with summer and stuff and kid stuff going on and travel for him, we've been kind of off schedule. So this is a Thursday. It will come out next. Someone said earlier it was Friday, and I said, "Excuse me, I'm sorry." And I said, "Look at me knowing the days." I was very proud of myself, but only because I knew we were coming here on Thursday. And so it'll come out next Tuesday. And so normally I come up with the roses like as we go.
Next Tuesday, it's going to come out today.
It will come out today. Yeah. Exactly. Happy Tuesday, June 20th to you people.
There you go.
And yesterday was Juneteenth. So this is a rose that my husband is. Normally I'm the one that's really on theme. Mm-hmm. But in this case, my husband is wearing a Juneteenth shirt. So he today is trying to steal my theminess. So congrats. That's a rose.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so we're not even going to tell the people that.
Who got it for you?
Yeah,
Who got it and said, you should wear it?
It was laying in my closet when I got out of the shower today, so I put it on, and it looked nice with the shoes that I wanted to wear anyway. So perfectly done. Happy Juneteenth to you, and happy Juneteenth to everyone. Juneteenth's a weird kind of holiday because it's the celebration of people finding out that slavery was over
a long time ago.
years after it was over. It's like, oh, word? So y'all just wasn't going to tell us that slavery is over?
When I found that part out about the delay, I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay. But as we all know, I love a chance to celebrate, and I love 4th of July too. I'm not gonna be honest, just because I love July. My birthday's July 8th. Our anniversary is July 3rd. July 4th. Just why not throw more festivity in there? Like I like all reasons to be festive, but it's like Juneteenth can be like our 4th of July. So even though it's a delayed situation.
We used to have, pre-pandemic, did we have a 4th? Yeah, we had a 4th of July party.
Well, no, we had it was July 3rd. It was an anniversary party for our 5th anniversary.
It was an anniversary party?
But it was
people there.
I know. I had an anniversary party.
Why would you have that? Seems, I don't know.
Really, I just wanted to have a party. And like the answer is always because I wanted to have a party. Speaking of, I'll fill you on something.
Because I wanted to, period.
Because
I guess you
wanted
can't end in a preposition, but
But so.
Look at me knowing English.
Good for you, babe. But it was on, because like everyone's off 4th of July. So I was like, I want to have a party. July is my month to be festive. Let's do it July 3rd, which happens to be our anniversary. So it'll be, I think the invitation was like, we are free, except for we are not, because we have been married to each other it was the weirdest invitation.
You're looking at nobody again. You're doing that thing where you look at nobody. I'm here, your camera's there. That's me camera. Me, camera. All right. So yeah, I made the jokes.
And the people.
I made the joke several times. Also, is that our wedding was the day before
ball
Independence
and chain day for him.
Yeah, it wasn't a ball and chain. It's
I'm a joy.
It's I don't know. I was trying to think of two other things that are the opposite of ball and chain.
Like feathers. I let you fly.
Wings and a rocket. Rocket wings, because I'm soaring.
I take him to new heights.
You do. I am
He's
high
welcome.
all the time.
I feel like
now.
there's a Beyonce song on Renaissance or something like that. Like the
I mean,
really
upgrade
popular
you.
one.
I feel like.
You could not tell me
I think
when
that's
upgrade you would come on. I'd be like, he's welcome. He is back. This is like before we were married, we were dating. No, but I mean, currently there's one. Anyway,
so
I don't
throw
know.
It in the bag. Is that what my song? That because if you could let me upgrade you, like I need a song too.
Sure. Does
like
he know
that
the
song.
lyrics to that song? Sure.
I know. I mean, it's not about whether I like it or not. It's about what has actually happened. It's just about you spending money on whatever it is you want, right? That's essentially what throwing in the bag is. We're getting a whole new damn kitchen that's going to cost. Never mind.
And what I was about to say.
This show is about like the surface level relationship conversation. It's not about the deep stressors.
And I've been taking things off. What I was about to say was when he said, why did we have a 4th of July party? I was like, we might need to have a Valentine's Day party this year. Why? Because our kitchen will finally be done. And my pink cabinets will really lend themselves to a Valentine's Day party. It's a slow process. Refrigerators really take a long time.
When I come up from the basement and working and I see all 8 people in my house just walking around with clipboards.
He rides his bike to Safeway.
About putting more and more thousands of dollars on stuff. It's like, man, if y'all don't get
today was actually a let's take some money off of stuff meeting, but I think there were places like, oh, but we forgot this, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, I'm actually dressed festively today too. Figure it out.
You have on fatigue pants.
I love fatigue pants.
You have on a pearl sheer top. I don't know.
They go together. Okay?
Army prom. Is today the prom at West Point?
Try again.
I don't know.
Pearl's the birthstone for June.
Oh, cool. Nice. I like it. Cool. All right.
That's not why I'm wearing this, but when I complimented him, I was like, no, you're festive too. Remember why. He can't be the only one festive, but you do. You look great. So that's a definite rose for you. Another rose is that you are going along with that you are managing your stress around this kitchen renovation as well as can be very well.
Yeah.
And
as well as can be expected is fine. I would like you to know that I am stressed.
Oh, I know.
Good.
I know. But also because I know, I'm like, you know what? We don't need to do all this. It's not worth the stress on my husband. We just need to do a lot of it, not all of it. So
my favorite part is when you get the quote for how much it's going to cost is like, that you feel guilty and then you say things that obviously aren't true. Like how you're gonna cut back on other things going forward, and I'm just like, stop! Don't lie to me. Like it's not fun. The
problem is I'm lying to myself too.
I know. I guess maybe in the moment you believe it,
and then I'm like, I just need this one more thing.
Yeah. Then don't create those expectations. It's like
remember when I sent you the video of Avery? So our daughter used to be our oldest, who's like, she's a gym, guys. She's 12 now. She had like a real serious Annie phase, like the Black Annie though, with Jamie Foxx. I hope he's on the mend. And so she used to love singing the Annie songs, but she's also creative. So she would sing her own songs. So at one point, we're at our house in DC, which we bought thinking we were going to like live in there full time.
Splice that in.
But then, but then we ended up, but it's like awful. But then we ended up having the house in DC while also like renting out our house in Baltimore, while also renting an apartment that we were primarily in New York. And so now we've sold the house in Baltimore. We no longer have a place in New York. So we're not being as crazy now. But at the time we bought the house and then he took the job in New York. So we had this apartment. And so we used to come home a lot because it's a quick drive when I was pregnant with Emmy. This honestly could have been when we were in Cambridge. I'm not sure, but I think it was New York. But either way, we were renting a place somewhere else, like a really cute little place either in New York or in Harvard Square in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And so I'm busy cleaning because like we were going back for a couple weeks. So, like I want to make sure there's like no food out in the kitchen and stuff like that.
Like a long story short button.
Long story long is my motto. You're going to get every detail. Y'all can cut it out later. Sorry, Christina and Adi and everyone who's going to be dealing with this. But for me, it's long story long. always. And you never know what other stories you're going to find along the way.
That is true. We always go off on tangents.
I talk really fast. So like, honestly, my long story is the same maybe as a slow talker's short story.
I mean, the content is still dense.
But you get some stuff in there. But anyway, so our daughter wanted to go out to dinner, Cheesecake Factory, I believe it was, one night. And I was like, no, mommy has to clean. I'm just going to cook like probably chicken tenders, like something for her and her little brother, was just 2 at the time. And she starts, not even knowing I'm paying attention, in her playroom on her fancy toys, like a whole playroom upstairs, while I am cleaning, simply so that we can go to our other apartment, singing this song. And she was so passionate, I had to record it, and it's become like one of like the jokes that we bring back up year after year in our family. And her song was, why don't we get to eat dinner, go out to dinner, we are poor, we don't have money, I'm sorry, why do we have to be hungry at night? It kept going, and some of the video I can't really understand, but she like really was feeling this, all because we couldn't effing go to Cheesecake Factory because I had to clean. She was like 4 or 5. Yeah. So like she wasn't that out of touch, but I sent that video to Dom. I was like, after the kitchen gets redone, this is going to be me. I'm just going to be cooking a lot because I'll have this pretty new kitchen and I'm only going to cook and we'll only go out to eat on date nights. He rejected that, and it was a lie.
You kept saying it, and you kept saying it, which made me think that maybe you did believe that.
I did believe it for a little bit. I was like, I can be a kitchen influencer because I'll have a pretty pink kitchen, and I can set up the ring light we used to use for whatchamacallit and
pictures.
Not for pictures, for when we do this at home. Oh. There's like a ring light just sitting in our dining room right now. Like in my mind for 10 seconds, I was like, and I'm gonna drink cocktails and listen to my music. Like I actually do that when I cook and have fun.
Just do one influencer video and then write off the whole kitchen.
Oh my God, can an accountant fact check that for us?
Evidence to IRS when they come and
no, I'm gonna do a lot of influencer videos. I'm gonna be even if they don't all make it to my site, I will have done them. So anyway, so that was another rose. Another one is you cooked last night. I had taken the kids. My parents have a place in Delaware, so I was there, and we came back late last night to dinner. So that's another rose. Thank you for that.
Nobody ate it. And no one ate
True,
it until
we
today.
had eaten on the road, but it was still really sweet of him. And I had a chicken thigh before I left today, so I appreciate that. Another rose is he's planning a trip to Six Flags with the kids.
Is that a rose?
Well,
it's a thorn
for the
for
kids.
all
It's
of
a thorn
us.
for me and him. We do not want to go to Six Flags.
Last year, I guess what happened
was... You went by yourself.
Yeah, last year I
was right across the street, actually.
We had just gotten back from some trip.
Disney World.
We had just gotten back from Disney World, and you had to go to a friend's birthday party or something.
Baby shower.
A baby shower.
It was the one that ended. Yeah.
And you were gone all day, so like I wanted to do something with the kids because... anyone with multiple kids knows that the hardest thing probably to do is just be home with them.
Multiple kids who like argue with each other.
Activities.
Or you have to just accept they're going to be on screens. And like at least for us, when we pull our kids off of screens, they're not really great people. So it's like, after like an hour on screens, you're like, shoot, I got to break this up or commit to screens all day.
I think also it might have also been me being kind of, I don't remember exactly, but I also feel like it was coming on the heels of you saying something about me being with the kids, right?
I think I said like something about like you planning, or you weren't. I think it was because, was that when you were calling your mom to come a lot?
Oh yeah.
I feel like these are different times, but it was something
Maybe,
like
but
that.
It was connected to that, where it's like if you left me with the kids, I would invite my mom over, and it wasn't because I needed the help, but as much as it was because like
to be home with them.
She enjoys being with them, and I
enjoy calling her to come be with them.
I need to go see them, and
that's
I don't.
such a rose that he wants to share the joy of our children with our family.
I mean,
our larger family.
I get why you would bring that up, but I don't get why you want me to be miserable.
Roses.
So it was. I think part of it was like,
and the kids are happier too. Like I want everyone to be miserable, just to experience the misery that I feel like I
on a regular basis. And so, of all the things that you are willing to spend money on, I would love to pay for more help for you, but it's something that you would not be interested in. You would not accept. But anyway, the point was that day I took them to a laser tag place. We went to a go-karting place, and then we ended the day at Six Flags. And the Six Flags here has a water park, and it has like a regular amusement park.
And that just seems dirty. But
yeah,
anyway.
It was.
Although we are going, but it's so snobby of me because we're going to a water park in Virginia. A water park in Florida.
Water parks are dirty.
I know, but that one I'm like, oh, they have cabanas with cable TV. And this one that we're going to in Florida
Rich people
next
are dirty too.
No, I know. It's equally dirty.
Yeah, it's equally dirty. The Six Flags
but
one,
I get a cabana at least.
Like the Six Flags one looks a little dirtier because I think that it gets used more. So like the stuff is dingier. So like there's clean stuff in your fancy water park, but still all these dirty people are getting in there with their dirty bodies. Kids are peeing in there. And it's like, I mean, it's all dirty. Whatever. It's going to be dirty. It's fine. But
I don't want to go.
Yeah. You don't have to get in. Avery doesn't want to get in the water park. So I'll get in the dirty water park with the younger two.
I bought us all water shoes. Like those Keens, those ones that little kids wear. He's going to look so cute in his Keens.
But I forgot how we got here. But anyway, the point
is. Six Flags.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to Six Flags, which is a thorn for both of us, but a rose for the kids.
But
you don't have to go.
I know, but so it's like, I have this weird thing. I invited Landon. I have this weird thing.
Is his friend coming?
No.
Okay, because Declan said that Landon
wants his friend to come, and Declan might too. So our son is 10, and he has a cousin who just finished 8th grade who's like 14, and he likes to hang out with him and like he was having so much fun with him, and they were getting on each other's last nerves when they did like the cool boy handshake, and Declan was just feeling himself. Yeah. So yeah, he wants them to come, but nah, Landon's coming. I hope. Watch CJ get in the car too, and I'm not gonna kick him out.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, he's a sweet kid. But so they're all such sweet kids. But it's not, I have this weird thing where I like don't want to go places. Like I don't want to go to Six Flags at all. But I don't want to miss out. It's like FOMO, but like with my own family, and I could be home doing productive things for us because then we're going out of town next week, or this week we'll be away for a bit. And so I don't know. I know. It's like I shouldn't go. I know I shouldn't go. I'm going to be grumpy. I'm not going to have fun. I could be enjoying myself and getting stuff done that I need to get done at home, and that benefits the whole family, quite honestly. But I'm like, no.
Convince yourself that it's a sacrifice.
No, but it's not. It's not that. It's like, I want to go. Y'all guys are going to be out there having fun. I want to be part of the fun. I don't want these memories made without me.
That's what it boils down to.
It's like very selfish.
Yeah. It is also like I would
but
be
also
fine.
Selfless.
Yeah. I would be fine with you and the kids doing things without me because you do sometimes. It's like, it's fine. Like you guys just went to Delaware.
And that was another part of his Father's Day present. So this is actually a question I have. So I feel bad because like you guys know on here that I roast Domonique, or not roast him, but like, I'm like, oh yeah, Mother's Day. Thanks. She made me that dinner that I cleaned up after. And thanks.
You're welcome.
When we all know I love going out. Like, and so I think he knows how I like to spend my time. Not to say that every single time, like that's what I would want to do, So I think that's the hard part. Because honestly, I think had you been like Mother's Day, I was really tired. Whatever, we had stuff going on that a really busy weekend, and so I had made my own reservation to go because I knew he wouldn't have done nothing. But I went ahead and canceled it because I was like, I'm tired. I don't really feel like going out. But I also, I don't know what I felt like. That's the thing. Like I don't know. But so I can't be. But I can't be mad at him for not knowing. But I think I know what he likes. But I'm like, maybe I don't. How would you like to celebrate Father's Day?
I don't care. It's the thing. Like I'm not. When have you ever known me? And I think that's part of the issue with me not being great around celebrations that you want to celebrate. It's like I don't celebrate. Like I don't really want to. It's not a thing that I'm getting used to it because it's a thing that is very important to you and your family. And like when there's a birthday, anyone's birthday, any random birthday, it doesn't have to be a big birthday within your family. There's normally a couple of dinners. And if they're young enough, there's a party and a couple of dinners. And it's like, okay, this person just turned
Celebrate
33.
Life. Yes.
Like,
and they are living.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not knocking. I'm not judging it. It's just like we are very different.
Listen, he really
spectrum.
isn't judging in this case. Last week when he said he's not judging, we both went back and agreed that he was judging about social media. People on social media. This time he's actually not. I think you used to kind of judge it a bit, like really we have to do something else. But he really doesn't.
No, I think it would because everyone knows that I'm kind of introverted and it requires a lot. It's like, God damn, we gotta do another party.
Yeah, we gotta see people. What
again? Like, didn't we do this already? And this person's birthday is like whatever. It's just a random birthday. It's not like they turned 5, but I've gotten accustomed to it, and this is what we do in this family now, and the kids like it, and we have multiple cakes, and it's whatever. We celebrate. I'm a fan of celebrating if it makes people happy.
But it doesn't make you happy.
But it's not my thing. So like when it's my birthday, leave me alone.
Yeah.
When it's Father's Day, I'm good. Let's just say Happy Father's Day and move on.
So the first part of his Father's Day gift, I got him like nothing, like a t-shirt, like a bunch of small things. But the main part of the Father's Day gift was that I took the kids away for a few days prior to Father's Day. Because like your kids can't actually, you seem like a really shitty parent if your kids aren't around on Mother or Father's Day. But I was like, you know what? Like we're going to get out of your hair for a bit and let you eat. But then I was so sad because I got back and found out that he was like sleepy and hadn't been sleeping.
It's weird. I think
he needs me next to him to sleep.
Yeah, I imagine that I had a conversation earlier today with one of my friends, Wyatt, and he's about to go on a trip to Paris by himself. And it's like, all right, that sounds cool. And it's something that if you asked me a year ago or a couple years ago, would you be able to go on a trip by yourself and have fun? I would have been like, yeah. But now I realize I can't. I've become like so
ball and chained.
My life has become so intertwined in yours because I know this because I went to Miami to do some work down there and I was in Miami by myself with nothing to do. And I found myself not sleeping well, being bored and being angry. It's like, damn, I wish I was home. Like I wish that
he was home with his Xbox.
Oh yeah,
that'd
be nice.
Me and his children.
That'd be nice. Or I wish that you were there. Yeah. Like that'd be nice because like I don't know what single men do on a trip. I mean, I guess I know what single men do. I don't know what married men who are alone on a trip do to have fun. It's like, what do I want to do? I guess I go to movies. You can go have dinner at a bar, but then it's like, what do you do after that? I'm not gonna go to the club by myself. It's like I found myself in Miami just like, done with my work, looking around, and then I can't sleep because I don't know why. I used to laugh at you when you say that like when I traveled, you wouldn't sleep as well just because I'm like physically in the bed. And I used to have to get up super early whenever I traveled. I still do, but so I didn't think much about how poorly I sleep. But now I realize what you were talking about, where it's like, I don't know. It's not even like I'm worried. It's just like, something's wrong with this. This is not right.
Needs me, guys.
So then I hired a girlfriend for the day, and I was good. Me and Paul Pierce, baby.
Okay, Paul Pierce.
PP.
He's so annoying. Like he almost was sweet, guys, and it got uncomfortable for him. So he was like, "Let me tell you that I had an escort instead." Make it awkward. You know what? That's fine. That's why your Father's Day present is waking up at 6 a.m. on Monday to fly away with your 3 children and me, so that you can sleep. We just want you to get good sleep. That's all. We'll all be there in one suite together.
I'm looking forward to this great Miami trip. Now we're going back to Miami, not for work, but for you and the kids to enjoy
because
the beach.
We're going on a longer trip in July, and so I feel like I justify to people why I love Miami. Like a lot of like adults with kids judge me, I think, for like thinking that like they go to like chill parts of Florida. If they go to Florida, I'm like, nah, we're going to Miami, we're going to Carbone, we're going to Cote. Like we are going to be on South Beach. But because we're good parents, we're going to be at a different hotel for a couple of days at first with the water park for our kids, and then we'll be on South Beach. Yeah,
I'm gonna take them.
It is what it is.
I was thinking about.
I'm going to the Everglades.
You know how much or how bored I get on some of these trips because like you are fine with sitting by the pool.
Yeah, when
all
he
day,
was saying he can't, I was like, I would be so happy drinking.
You're fine.
Other than I wouldn't have someone to talk to.
You're fine sitting at the beach all day with the kids, whereas I get a little bit bored.
He does, and it's fine though. I'm like, you go out in the world, you do what you do. We'll be here.
So we're gonna go to the Everglades, which will be nice.
Yeah, I've tried to break this.
Find some crocodiles. I was thinking I've been meaning to take the big 2 jet skiing. I'll take them jet skiing one day. That'll be pretty cool. That'll be nice. Won't be too bad.
Are they old enough to jet ski safely?
We'll find out. I mean, it's water. Put a life jacket on them. They know how to swim. It's all right.
The boat could hit one of them.
What boat? The boat. Don't hit the boats.
The little jet ski.
I'm proud of you, though, because you are anxious about a lot of things, but you're allowing the older 2 to have a little bit more freedom, and I think it's good for them.
Okay, we got my son for his little graduation an Apple Watch, mostly because there's a chance he could start walking to his new school that he's going to next year. And so I was like, let's start getting him used to this and wearing this now in case like ever he is going to be walking. It's like just a few blocks, and we can like track him. So it's set up as a child's watch. Like my daughter has a phone and it's set up. She's older, but it's set up as a child's phone. But they both have Apple Cash from them, which like with my daughter, it comes in handy so much for me because I'll be like, I'm going to wait right here outside Double Park. You run in and pick up, all of our Starbucks for breakfast. I'm going to Apple Cash you enough money for it. Or not Starbucks because I just ordered on the app. That's a bad example, but other times like that. So we got our son a watch, and at the beach where we were, at the beach. First of all, it's annoying because if he's not with you, he'll just call you like aggressively, and like he doesn't accept answers that he does not want to hear very well. Mm-hmm. He just like does not believe in them, and so he'll call to ask something, and it's like, no, Deck.
Call right back.
Call me back, Mom. And I'm like, oh my because he could always do it from his iPad. Like he would do that if we were on a date and he were home on Wi-Fi. But it's like I want him to be able to call us. I want him, to know that we're there. But anyway, so he had his Apple Watch on, and he went to. I didn't even hear anything you said, by the way. You're not what got me back on track.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to them.
Yeah, I don't know why. And he went to, there's like a Wawa walking distance, but it's like such a quick walk from where my parents' house is that like you don't even notice the kids missing. You think they're just out riding their bikes. So that's the reason I love taking them to Delaware. Is like they can just be outside more. So he disappeared to Wawa. So finally I thought to look at, because it's set up as a child's phone, to look at his transactions, like which I can see on my phone, on his Apple Watch. First of all, he conned his aunt and uncle into sending him $20. Each of them sent him $20. But two, like the amount of times he went to Wawa, presumably to buy candy or a Slurpee
presumably,
or a bag of chips. I'm trying to have some like denial. Like,
no,
I'm like,
what do you think
maybe he bought carrot sticks one time.
No.
One time he got a bag of chips, which is better than he came back. Remember, and this type of stuff we used to get, or at least my cousins used to get from there. I didn't like candy as much when I was little, but like a bottle basically filled with blue sugar. Mm-hmm. Like so he came back drinking the bottle with like a slushie in one hand, and he claimed that when I saw him, I was like looking angry. I was like, Declan. He was like, yeah, this one's for Emmy. That's his younger sister who does not have any means of procuring herself snacks. And I said, well, we're about to go eat. Oh, never mind. I forgot. She was mean to me earlier. Put it on the counter. And I knew he was staying with his grandfather while me and the girls and my mom went to eat. So I was like, this little boy is just going to go get that off the counter. But whatever. So yes, they are independent, and I'm letting them have more independence, although I did not intend to let them go to Wawa 6 times in one day the other day.
Well, it's good for them.
I deactivated his Apple Cash for a bit. We're not blocked it for a bit after that.
It's good for them. I mean, that part's not good for them, but I think just both of them. A little bit of independence in the world, they'll be all right. Yeah. Get out there, get scared, make some mistakes, figure it out. As long as they survive.
I don't want any really big mistakes.
Of course not. Nobody wants any big mistakes, but you have to give them a chance to get out there. I feel like that's more in line with your philosophy on like music. It's like you tend to think, or not music. I guess music and like
I'm waiting for this, guys.
Food and in general.
It's all delicious.
Yeah, no, you are
going to a
like
vegan restaurant tonight, though.
You convince yourself that if you are like restrictive on these things with kids, then they're gonna be like crazy about it once they have access to it. So then, like,
that's a little bit true, y'all.
Why you don't apply that to freedom? No,
I know, but I do. Like, I mean, I let them do stuff. What are you saying?
This week?
No, generally.
Okay.
I mean, age appropriate. Excuse me. When was the first time I was going to let him like go out into the world and zone? Like at 7? Like what would have been better? Yep. Okay. Well, this parenting lesson is done.
Let him live his life. Get out there. Make some mistakes. Skin your knee.
Next, we can do a parenting podcast. And we can bring in our 3 wonderful children and be like, see?
Yeah, we got to bring them in here. It's summertime. They need to work. Everybody need to work.
I know. That's been one thing that's nice too is except for with the Apple Cash is like I can send them because quite honestly I never have cash. So before if I would try to like offer them chore money, and I don't give them chore money for things like cleaning their own room because I'm like that's your mess. But like when I have my oldest daughter help me clean my youngest daughter's room, that's not her responsibility. Excuse me. And so I'll give her chore money for that or like stuff that like certain cleaning the kitchen, okay, just do it because you help make the mess. But other times, like, it's not fair that you're the only one who's good at helping to clean the kitchen. So I'll send her some Apple Cash or whatever. But so that's almost like working.
Nah, not at all. Yeah, I mean, I feel like
did you get allowance when you were little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a little allowance, but I was a saver. So like I end up having to lend my older brother money because I'd have like a couple $100 of a few years worth of allowance that I haven't spent under my bed. And then
he should have saved it for this kitchen, y'all.
Yeah, that wouldn't have done anything to help with this kitchen.
Interest. I love you.
Love you too.
Happy June, everyone.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy belated Juneteenth. Even like the very last person who did not find out on Juneteenth by June 20th, they found out they were free.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Adi. And thank you, Podville. We are.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.